And actually, the stems is actually super helpful in doing this. So what I recommend you do when you're first starting out, because I know some of the DJ heads are going to be like, well, bro, that's like a DJ technique, man. You got to put in the hours and you got to know. You just got to know. But there's still a method as to why you have to, how the process works. So, for example, I'm going to mute this. I use the acapella, but I used the full track of this, but then I just stemmed out the acapella to it. So you're probably like, well, how do I know if I'm on beat? So what you do is you just take the acapella and just the drums. Because when you first start, if you do the whole song and whole song together, it's too busy and you're going to get confused. So with this one, I might actually have to move this up a little bit because I'm a little off just from looking at it. Oh, this helps too. So I'm going to do just the drum of this, or even just the bass line of this. Now I'm just trying to match up the snares, the kick and snares, which with this one, actually, I need to move up just a little bit. As long as you know that that is the downbeat of the song. So this is like the full song. I'm going to mute this here. Like that word is the downbeat of that section. If I started here, I'm going to be off to begin with. If I thought that this was the one with this, I'll already be off phrasing wise. And phrasing just means the section of the song. So you'll normally have like an intro, which is a section. You have a verse, you have a chorus, and they're in different numbers of bars. So normally a verse could be 16, could be 8. Typically it's 16, and then you have a chorus that's 8 bars. So you're trying to line up 8 and 8 on there. It's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. It's okay, you know? If only Voltron told me. Hey, you know, like I remember that, like that in G.I. Joe, they were always giving you those kind of at the end of it, the educational thing, like don't talk to strangers. This is this. Like, hey, use the stem of the acapella with the drums. So I'll do that. If I'm really stumped, I'll just put the drum and the vocal, or of the song that I want to just match the acapella to this one, and just kind of like mix it like that. Some of them, yes. If they're too busy, it could be a little tough. So there's other methods you can do. With this one, this acapella didn't have a lot of mid frequencies going on, so it was definitely workable. But there's some where it's like, nah, I'm not super into it. Yeah, it's very artifacty, if you want to even give it that kind of word. So right now, if I play these both together and they sound like they're matching pretty well. Or I could just do the drum of this one, and then let me just take the middle stuff out of this too. For example, if I had this behind and I thought that this was the start, you're going to definitely tell. Like, say I thought it was here. That's much easier to decipher than if you just did the drum, or if you just had the vocal. There is some that can help out. There's one, if you feel like there's too much reverb in it, EQ is really helpful. There is one, You can use, if you're doing the live stem and it sounds like garbage, you can use LaLa.Ai. I've had some good luck using this. You basically put the track in. You know what? Let's see. You do a comparison. Why not, right? So let me take, where did I put that track? Oh, I think it's in here. It's like, I know I have it. Also, try to keep all your projects in one area and your samples. Trust me. Because if you move computers, it can be very tough to find all your stuff. And I know that I had that song. Oh, I know what I do with it. Yes, it can. Because sometimes my buddy always likes to say, if you start off with crap, all you're doing is adding sparkles to the crap. Meaning, if you have a bad start, you adding compressors and things like that it can help a little bit, but doesn't really get to the root of getting that situated. Oh, there we go. Let's try and look for this. There it is. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this track into here, but I want to get the vote. Let me log in real quick. Ah, shit. Wasn't trying to do that. Let me log into this real quick. Yes. Yes. There we go. I'm going to select vocal and instrumental, and then bring the track in. Going to process it. Yeah, he always called it the sparkle crap theory. But I've used, as far as certain tools, there's one called Clear Tone, where if you were trying to get rid of reverb, it does a pretty good job on it. It looks like this. So naturally in the song, it has reverb in it. And this actually does a pretty good job of getting rid of that. Like, this is how it was before. Let me do it without drums for, oh no, there is no drums on that. Let me get out of this. Mute this, or it's just this track here. You're right. Yeah. You could try to shine it, but now you're just going to have dirty arms, dirty hands. So, yeah. So everything's at 0. Like, I'm not modifying anything. The minute I start turning these knobs, then I can start modifying stuff. La luna está bien a mi cama, hacía lo que yo te haría. Si te tuviera de frente, I'll do A and B on it. De noche de día, you know I'm just a flight away. If you want it, you could take a private plane. I'll put everything back to what it was. So you can really adjust. Astronaut, what's up? What up, homie? It used to be free, but I think they charged like $60 for it. I was using it really for, I would record a podcast at a studio, and the walls can be a little thin, and I swear a new band that wants to release like their version of Slayer is always next door. So they're like beating the crap out of drums. So this really helped me get rid of that background audio, I was like really amazed by how well it did it. Ideally you want to have a good room and all that, but so here is the vocal through LaLa.Ai. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to take off I'm going to turn off all the effects and just play it. Que se podía ser el amor por telepatía. La luna está llena, mi cama vacía, lo que yo te haría. So there's that. Hopefully, quality-wise on the stream, it's good. So that's Serato stem of that. This is the LaLa.Ai version. I do have to keep in mind I have it pitched down -2, so you hear this pitched up. So don't let that throw you off on there, because for the blend I had to bring it down. La luna está llena, mi cama vacía, lo que yo te haría. Si te tuviera de frente, la mente te la volaría. De noche de día, de noche de día. You know I'm just a flight away. If you want it, you could take a private plane. That actually sounds pretty damn good, to be honest. Yeah. So if you need to do like a reference to stuff, if that's what you're meaning, I just turned this on and off just to get A and B comparison. Yeah. If that's what you mean, I don't want to make sure on that. For A to B. As far as just trying to reference something, I know if I'm trying to like kind of bring out a bit more of the vocal, this kind of adds mid to high frequencies, and it's free. Oh no, you're good, dude. You're good. You're good. Oh no, you're fine. I'm not tripping on that. I'm the same way. Excellent. No, you're fine, dude. Kind of prefer it. Kind of gives me a heads up on there. Again, this was just an impromptu stream. I was just trying to make sure my internet didn't suck. Because I figured out how to run my cable or my coax as an internet line. Research Mocha. So if you're running upstairs and you're running Wi-Fi and you're like, bro, my signal sucks, use Mocha, bro. For a reference. Oh, I mean for a rep. Oh, gotcha. So yes, that is one thing I'm waiting for them to do, because I would love to have it where, I guess you could do it, but they don't have it. I used to do this in Ableton, which would help. I put a full track. And then I routed the audio where it would get no processing from the master, and I could compare with those. As an example, what you could do is kind of already get the information of the track. Oh, I appreciate it, bro. No doubt, man. I gotta share it, man. Shareware, bro. So let's see here. So right now, the workaround that I do, if I'm trying to reference something, is, let's see here. Play one of my buddy's tracks. Shout out to my boy Snoozy. He was making some crazy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna bring this in. See if it lets me play. No, that's protected file, of course. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm bringing this track in. So the workaround is, it's kind of in the prep work, in the sense of I load a couple bits of information to this. This track, shout out to my homie Snoozy. Always making wild stuff. He's been making some really dope Alma piano stuff. So this is very, this is what he made a lot of, and then kind of took a left turn with the homie, and they have this group called Dale Habibi, and they do these sick ass like Afro house stuff. He's an amazing producer. So what I would do is, if you're trying to do an A and B to like your completed track to that one. So say you did your session and then you exported it out, but you didn't do any processing. You just completed your track. Now you're doing a new session or actually kind of mastering your track. And you're like, oh, it's too quiet or certain frequencies aren't working. What you can do is add an EQ of some sort, some type of graphic EQ, because you want to know what's going on information-wise. Here, so. And I'll usually pick a spot where it has like the most energy in the track. Put this here. I'm just going to loop it. I'll bring the volume down a little bit. Oh, no. Okay, so it's muted. So what I'm looking at is information of the track. So when that bass really hits, it's hitting in this area, in this 34 hertz area. I'm trying to not be super nerdy on it. Just be like, hey, this mountain is in this area right here. So say I bring another track in. Yeah, because you could definitely nerd out and be like, dude, I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's see here. I'll add this in here. We'll just add 2 tracks. Bring this up a little bit here. I know this is a little bit tougher as far as A and B, but once they do external routing where you don't, basically what you're trying to avoid is you don't want to add any processing to your reference track. You're just using it to reference. So I'm going to try to go to the busiest part of what I think it is. So now I'm playing this. Not a good reference. I forgot that was like a house track. Let me find another one that is this one. Oh, not this one. All right, this one's perfect for it. Again, you're referencing to style that's somewhat similar. You know, don't be like, oh, I'm completely original. I call BS on that. People get inspired by everybody. You just put your own flavor to it. That's how I like to refer to it. Take the sync off because I'm not worried about that. Take that off. A lot of so I'm gonna add, we have that there. I'm going to add another EQ. Again, this is a little bit of steps going on for this. It is a little bit of steps. I am going to agree. It is a little bit of steps, but hey, I don't know why I did do EQs. I don't need that for that. Let me add it to that one. That's what I meant to do. Okay. I could have just put it right there. Okay, perfect. So now we have EQs on both songs. Do not confuse yourself. So you just have to remember, like, hey, okay, this one's for this one, this one's for this one. So I'm going to listen to, so this is number 2 here. So I can see that that bass is hanging out right here of this track. Now I'm gonna solo this track. If I was off a little bit, say this was our track that we were working with. Say I had my lows down. Like, say my bass was low. We didn't hear anything. We're trying to figure out, like, man, why is my low end? My low end is like gone. Oh, meant to click on that one. There we go. Oh man, yeah, I was curious of what that name was on that. But I'm just using this to reference that as far as like where it sounds like they're together. So I can just use that as a reference point there. If that one looks a little weird, now that I'm realizing I have another EQ from Ozone, I'm just use its equalizer, kind of like the view on that one. So this one kind of gives me a heads up as well. So I end up hitting a plus here, and it tells me like what frequencies this is at. So it's kind of this like 30 range here. So that's more just like EQ, like just to kind of match the EQs. Now, if you're trying to do the volume itself, there's a couple. I know I have one besides that one. I think it's a VU. I used to have it. It was a free one. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was called. You could do. I got too much crap I got to get rid of. Spectral analyzer. No, nope. I can put the Youlean. Put that on there. And then put it on the other track as well. Put that on there and get rid of this EQ. I don't need it. Put it on there. So now we can see we have both of them. Again, don't get confused. I wish I could do separate windows. That'd be awesome as well as being able to just detach the windows, have them color coded. We're like, oh, that's audio 1, audio 2, have them side by side and compare them like that. That'd be fantastic. Would definitely save you some time. So right now I have this highlighted. I'm going to pay attention to where in the meat of this track where it's kind of sitting. Kind of right in this little area right here. Okay, so we have that one. Beat that. Bring this one up. That one's a little quieter. Oh, it didn't work. Damn it. Which one did you get? The 2015 or the 2019? Let me know on there. I'm trying to see. Okay, these were any different from each other. Default. Yeah, those are both the same. I had to bring up the gain a little bit, even though it's telling me I'm clipping. I could put a little limiter on there. But now I'm in that kind of same area as this one. That's like the muted one. Actually, now it's tricking me because now it's telling me it's kind of hanging out there. Oh, that's why. Because I need to be here. That's why. Yeah, so I had to bring the gain up about maybe 5 to 6 dB to kind of have those matching. So now they kind of call this gain staging, where you're like balancing the volumes. Now you're gonna have certain styles where it is gonna be a bit louder. Like this one is very in your face, so his levels are pretty high up there. But depending on what style you're going for, this could change. But right now you're just getting all the useful information. You're like, okay, on the loudness, it's kind of hanging out in this area. EQ wise, the main parts are kind of hidden here and here. I'm waiting for a graphic EQ. Like this is fine, but I want to be able to have more information and being able to use this EQ to like really dial in on things.